Good morning, and thank you for dropping by today to play some guitar with me here on the couch. Boy, do we have a good one for you today. Enter Sandman was released as a single in July of 1991, 2 weeks prior to the release of Metallica's self-titled fifth album. Due to the song's popularity, what is now commonly referred to as the Black Album debuted at number 1 in the US and 19 other countries. It was only the second album ever to chart for a consecutive 550 weeks and the second longest charting album of all time, behind only Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Stick with me till the end of this video and we'll talk more then. For now, let's jump right in with the ominous and instantly recognizable intro riff. So our intro riff is going to start here in a position that most people are familiar with. We're at the 5th fret is where our index finger is going to go. The 7th fret is where our ring finger is going to go. And I'll also take just a minute to say I know that there is controversy because there's a whole bunch of different ways to play this opening riff. I'm going to play it or teach you probably the way that I play it, which is probably the way most people play it because it's the simplest way to play it. I'll show you a couple others also. But the way that I play it, I put my ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string or the A string, my index finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and I'm playing the E string open. So the first note is the E, and then we just go straight down. The 5 and the 4, and then with my middle finger, I'm going to play the 6th fret on the E, and then I'm going to take my index finger and play the 5th fret. So it's E, A string, D string, 6 on E, 5 on E. That's the way that I've always played it. It's really simple to play it that way. Another way that you can play it is as I come down, instead of hitting my 5th fret on the D string, which is a G note, right? It's the same as the open G string. So the next way to play it is as I come down, I'm just going to skip right over that D string and I'm going to play the open G. I'm going to let that ring out and then go ahead and play the 6th fret, 5th fret on the E string. That allows that G note to keep ringing. Now, the way that James plays it, I believe, from what I've heard and what I've read, he puts his pinky on the 7th fret and his middle finger on the 5th fret of the D string. He plays that down, leaves those fingers planted, and then uses his ring finger on the 6th fret, index finger on the 5th fret. To me, that's really hard because my hand doesn't want to move that way. I really have to concentrate on keeping those fingers planted there to let them ring. But any of those 3 ways plays the song, and if you're playing it for friends, for family, just playing it on the couch by yourself, or maybe even playing it in a club with a band, I don't think anybody's really going to notice which way you're playing it and if that way is the right way. So that's all I got to say about that. So the next tone that we hear is a clean wah pedal. After the intro riff is played 4 times, we hear this. And I'm just playing a chord here. I'm playing an open E string. My ring finger's on the 7th fret of the A string. Index finger is on the 5th fret of the D string. I'm playing strings 6 through approximately 2. I'm just rocking that pedal forward a couple times. So again, that happens after the 4th time of the intro riff. Plays the intro riff another 4 times, and the wah pedal is actually in the background, so it's playing while the intro riff is playing for the 5th time. So it goes through another 4, The wah pedal plays again, but this time it's only a single rock. And it plays another 4 times, and then it goes to the overdriven guitars, and that's what we'll learn now. So again, the clean section of the intro, we're going to go through 4 times of the riff, and then we have the clean wah 4 more times, clean wah 4 more times. But instead of the clean wah, we have a overdriven E power chord. So that's open on the E string, 2nd fret of the A and the D, and then we're going to start palm muting. That's just the 6th string open, palm laying slightly in front of the bridge. We're going to slide from 5 to 7 on the A. Do that 4 times, and then we're going to add a note. And then another chord. This chord is an F power chord, so my index finger is on the 1st fret of the E, 3rd fret of the A and the D are covered by my ring finger, and I'm playing the 7th fret of the A string, followed by the 6th fret of the E string. We're going to do that 4 times. After the 4th time, we're going to add another note. We're going to add the A note, which is the 5th fret of the 6th string. So 7 on A, 6 on E, 5 on E, and our F power chord. We're going to do that 8 times. So we got the first one 4 times, 8 times on the second one, and then we're going to go into a section that has a little more feeling. Notice those first ones are pretty mechanical. They're I don't know, almost machine-like in the way they're just not a lot of feel there. But this next section, after we've done that 8 times, after we've done that, do that part 8 times, then we get a little feel. We're going to go back to the E power chord. So there's chugs between. This part's the same. It's just a little slower, and we put a little vibrato at the end. And then after 3 of those, we have what Kirk Hammett called the tail. That is a G power chord. So index finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, A and the D at the 5th fret. We're going to slide down 1 fret, keep this planted, but slide it down. We're going to lift off this index finger and play it. Ending up back on the E power chord. Really, in this part, the first and the last chord, those are both sounded out. Everything else is palm muted. There's different sections where different pieces of that are palm muted. I'll talk about that more when we get to them. But we're going to go through that section 12 times. And then that takes us into the main verse of the song. Our next section is the verse. Very simple. is the E power chord. It's the chugs with the open E string, palm muted. It's the F power chord, and it's the tail that we learned before. Going to go through that twice, but the second time don't go all the way to the E power chord. End right here on this F sharp power chord, because we're going to go into the pre-chorus, which is this. That is the D string at the 4th fret, 2nd fret of the G, walk down 3 to 2 on the A, back to the 4th of the D, and then the 2nd on the E. After you've done it 2 times, you're going to go to the E power chord. Then we're going to do it again. This time, instead of going to the E power chord, we're going to go to this F sharp, and we're going to start our chorus. And then the tail at the end. That is a power chord, an F sharp power chord rooted on the 6th string. So my index finger is on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. My ring finger covers the 4th fret of the 5th string and the 4th string. Really just playing strings 5 and 6 though. That actually sounds better. And then a C power chord here, rooted on the 5th string. So index finger, 3rd fret of the 5th, ring finger, 5th fret of the 4th. And we're just going to go down 1 fret to the left, which makes it a B power chord. Back to that E power chord, or the E minor type shape there. We're just playing strings 6, 5, and 4. And then it does it one more time. And there's the tail at the end. Then we go right back from that tail, we go right back into the main riff. So we have the... Then right back into the verse. During that second verse, we have a couple of lead fills that are done using a wah pedal. First is this. That is the 12th fret of the B and G. Rocking the wah forward as I do it. I'm going to bounce back and forth off this 14th fret of the D. I'm going to go to the 14th of the B and the G. I'm going to bend them up, and then as I come down, I'm going to pull off to 12, go back to 14 on the D, back to 12 on the B and G, back to 14 on the D, and then there's a little pause in the last one. I'm going to hit 12 on the B and G again, and I'm going to slide down. There's one more during the next tail of the verse, and we have this. Obviously a lot easier, so that's just the 12th of the B and G. I'm going to play it 3 times as I rock the wah forward. As I come back, I'm going to hit the 14th of the D and then slide down. That one's a little bit easier. So we're going to go through that complete verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, and then that's going to lead us into the solo, which we will learn now. So we're going to stick with our wah pedal for the solo. The first lick in the solo is this. BB loves this solo. What I'm doing there is my my pinky is kind of planted on the 15th fret of the B string. My ring finger is on the 14th fret of the G. I'm using these two fingers right now for power to help me bend that up. So I'm bending up 14 on the G, and I'm playing them both at the same time, but I'm also hitting the 15th fret on the B. We'll bend them up twice like that, or bend it up twice like that. The third time I'm going to pull off and then come back to the original position. Next time I'm going to do the same thing, but what I'm going to bend up at the end is the 15th fret of the B string. I'm going to hit it twice. Takes us to the next lick, which is this. So that is the 10th fret of the A string, the 12th fret of the G string. I'm using my pad of my index finger to mute the D. So I'm playing strings 3, 4, and 5. But the middle one, the D string, is not sounding because it's muted. So the pattern is kind of like this. Only faster. I'm alternate picking it to do it faster. And I'm sliding up 2 frets from 10-12 to 12-14, back to 10-12, back to 12-14, back to 10-12 to finish it. The next lick is this. That's a pull off from 14 to 12 on the G, and we're going to land on the 14 of the D while we're kind of rocking the wah pedal still. We're going to do the same thing from the D down to the A. Now we're going to go from 14 to 12 to 10 on the A, and we're going to wind up on 12 on the E. Next lick is this. That is just bending up the 15th fret of the B string while holding the 12th fret of the E, kind of a Chuck Berry thing. Then I'm going to start doing these pull-offs. Kind of a Jimmy Page style lick, kind of like at the end of the Stairway to Heaven solo. That's pulling off 15 to 12 on the E and hitting 12 on the B. Then I'm going to slide up 2 frets and do the same thing, pulling off from 17 to 14 on the E and hit 14 on the B. Then I go up just 1 fret with my index finger anyway to 15. My pinky is going to pull off 19 to 15 there on the E, but instead of the B, I'm going to be playing the B string at 17. I'm going to go up 2 more frets, pulling off from 21 to 17 and hitting 19 on the B. And then I'm going to bend up 22 on the E 1 time. Then we have this. So that is, I'm bending the B and the G string both at the 9th fret. I do that several times, like 5 times I think. And then we're going to pull off from 9 to 7 on the G, landing on the 9th fret of the D. Then I'm going to go up, I'm going to do a hammer-on from 7 to 9 on the D, land on the 7th fret of the G, and then I'm going to pull off from 10 to 8 to 7 on the B string, hitting the 9th fret on the G, and then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to do a pull off from 8 to 7 on the B, hit the 9th on the G, back to 7 on the B, back to 9 on the G, 7 on the G, 9 on the D string to 7 on the G, 9, 7 on the D. That is 9, 8, 7 on the A, 7 on the E. Again, that little section. That takes us to the next lick. That is bending up the 16th fret of the G string, playing the 14th fret of the G string, still rocking the wah, and then we're landing on the 16th fret of the D, and then we go 16 on the D to 14 on the G is kind of a walk up, and we do it again. So we do the little bend and pull off. He does that 4 times, and it ends with this. So that's bending up the 16th fret of the G string with my pinky finger planted on the 17th fret of the B. Playing both those strings one at a time. And then we end with this. That is, actually we don't end with that, we end with this. So that's coming up, bear with me. So this first one is a pull off from 21 to 19 to open on the E string. As you kind of do it fast, it has that sort of sound. It sounds a lot faster than it is. He does it kind of with some rhythm there, and then he winds up bending up 22. There's a little rhythm to that too. As we bend up, we're rocking the wah. And then we go down here, we're going to pull off from 5 to 3 to open. 5 to 3 to open on the B. 4 to 2 to open on the G. And then we wind up here on the D at 4. I'm sorry, 2 on the D. 4 on the A. Open, and then 2 on the A. That's it. Then if you have a whammy bar, he hits that like 4 times. He gives it kind of a little vibrato there. You can kind of use the wah pedal if you've got a non-vibrato guitar. And then from there, it goes back into the original clean opening. Does that a few times, then it goes back to the goes back through the chorus, and then it goes to the main riff of the song. And then it ends on kind of a modified version from the beginning. Kind of goes backwards from the intro, and then that's kind of the way that it fades out. There's one last little lead lick as it fades out, real similar to this one, kind of like we just learned there at the end of the solo. So, and then that's the way the song ends. If you do not have a wah pedal or a katana with an expression pedal like I'm using, that's okay. The solo and even the fills will still sound fine without it. If you found benefit or enjoyment, I'd ask that you give a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you've not yet done that. I also wanted to make mention of my latest short video, which features professional voice actor Chris Turek. I'll leave a link here to the short, and if you're in need of a voice actor for any project, I'd encourage you to consider using Chris, who does fantastic and professional work for a very affordable investment. I will link to his webpage in the description. And it wouldn't be Riffs from the Couch if I didn't take a moment to encourage you to consider the subject matter of our song and how one might think eternally about it. I like that the song has the "Now I lay me down to sleep" prayer that I was taught as a small child. Prayer should be an important part of all of our lives. I also like that it talks about the light and the darkness. Enter night, exit light is one of the lyrics. John 1:5 says that the light shined in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. That light, of course, was Jesus Christ, and as always, I'd encourage you to pick Jesus. If you do not know him, seek him and you will find him. He's never far from any of us. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you back again soon, right here on the couch.